And with the dangerous winter weather moving in, Arkansas now under a state of emergency. The governor signing that declaration yesterday. The move unlocks $250,000 for response and recovery and clears the way for fuel, power crews, and emergency vehicles to move faster when conditions turn dangerous. And just a few hours ago, the governor ordered more than 160 National Guardsmen to help state police with stranded motorists and any debris removal. Arkansas Department of Transportation may be one of the busiest crews in the state this week. They've been out pre-treating roads for the last few days, trying to get ahead of what is to come. Dave Parker, now spokesman for RDOT, joining us live now from Little Rock. And Dave, shout out to the crews. They have been working tirelessly, and they will be for the next several days. What is the situation? Where do we stand now with what efforts have been made across the state?
Darren, I can tell you that pre-treatment of the roads, the highways and interstates in Northwest Arkansas and River Valley has wrapped up. We've pre-treated all we can. Now we are kind of doing spot checks this evening, making sure things are okay, looking for those trouble areas, bridges and overpasses. And then once the snow begins to fall, we will switch over. We'll start treating with rock salt because the temperature will drop and that salt brine just not going to be strong enough. So we'll switch down to a more abrasive rock salt, and then we'll start plowing when there's something to plow.
And that is 24 hours a day all the way through till what, Monday, Tuesday?
Yeah, we're planning on 48 hours of precipitation on and off, of course, Saturday and Sunday. We're not going to make a big dent in this. I want to get that message across. We're not going to make a big dent in this. Monday morning, it's going to be, windy. You can see how it's picking up here in Little Rock. Windy and extremely cold, bitter cold. So we're not going to be able to, what we put down is just not going to work as well at this. And our men don't work as well when it's 3 degrees. Our equipment doesn't work as well. So you're not going to wake up Monday morning and see a clear interstate. I want to be very careful to let people know that. Be patient with us. We'll get to it, but it's going to take us a little longer. This is a tough one.
Yeah, you want to make sure that your drivers are obviously safe while doing this work. It may take a few days to get these roads cleared off.
I don't think things will be clear. Clear is relative, but I don't think it'll be clear until Wednesday. I mean, we're going to try to make the interstates, of course, passable by Monday night, Tuesday. We've got to keep, that's the thing, we've got to keep it safe for drivers. We're hoping people don't get out and drive the next 72 hours. But for those who do have to work and for the commerce that has to move, the freight that has to move through this part of the country, we've got to keep that open somewhat. So let those people get out there, let us do our job, and I think we'll all be in better shape for that.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest messages is if you do have to get out, just get out of the way of the RDOT trucks.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, for your own safety, we're going to be out there. Our truck spreaders, 700 plows, 600 spreaders, we're going to be out there 24/7 starting tonight through probably Tuesday night. We're hoping Tuesday gets up to a balmy 25 and sunny.
All right, Dave, thanks. Appreciate that. Dave Parker from the Arkansas Department of Transportation. We're going to see a lot of him over the next couple of days right here. Dave, appreciate your time. All right, closings across the area already rolling in. Bocoshe in Oklahoma was the latest school deciding to let out school early today. Here's a look at some of the other major closings. University of Arkansas will close at 3 this afternoon. UA Fort Smith closed about 5 minutes ago, so no afternoon or evening classes there. Some schools, including Pecola and Roland, will have an online learning day, while Waldron and Lincoln schools will close early this afternoon. You can find a full list of closings updated throughout the day today, and it's going to get busy throughout the rest of the day on our website at 5newsonline.com. Just scan the QR code on your screen or text the word closing to 785-5000. We'll text you back with a link to that list of all the closings and delays. We're just hours away from the winter storm that's moving into the area. 5 News reporter Claire Everbach talked with a local hardware store about what you can do to protect yourself, your house, from the cold.
Well, we still have just a little bit of time before that cold weather hits our area officially And as we prepare for the ice and snow, employees at the hardware store in Fayetteville say it's important to have a few key items in your household. The hardware store in Fayetteville says they saw a company record number of customers ahead of this storm, with more than 600 people coming through the doors. They say the biggest concern for many residents is frozen pipes. The most popular items they've been selling are faucet covers, snow shovels, sleds, and ice melt. And beyond these items, they're also recommending a few other things that homeowners should consider having on hand.
I would say if they've got outside faucets, definitely get an outside faucet cover. Keep that from freezing and breaking. And then once it thaws, you'll have a water leak, just going and going. I would say invest in a generator if it's something that you're going to keep long term, because there's a lot of people that buy houses, remodel them, and flip them. So if they're going to keep the house long term, probably invest in a generator. Probably a chainsaw as well, so that way if a limb falls, you can at least cut it down.
And for those looking to have some fun out there, this is actually the very final sled left in the hardware store in Fayetteville. Their next shipment is going to be here Monday at the earliest. So don't worry, if you don't have a sled yet, you're not out of luck completely. In Fayetteville, covering news where you live, Claire Everbach, 5 News.
Got to get your sled, no doubt about that. A reminder, warming shelters will be open across the region throughout the weekend. Mansfield Fire Department says it is preparing a shelter at the elementary school. It's also saying it's looking for volunteers now with vehicles who can help bring neighbors in need to that shelter. For more information on closest warming center to you, you can text the word WARM to 785-5000. Text you back a link with that list. As the winter weather moves into our area, 5 News will stay with you throughout the storm, of course. In addition to our normal newscast today, we'll have live extended weather coverage streaming on the free 5 News mobile app and smart TV app that includes real-time updates, forecast changes, and how all of it impacts you and your family. With a winter storm moving in, Washington County judge urging you to stay off the roads if possible. Judge Patrick Deacon says even necessary travel should be limited and carefully planned out. Road crews are preparing for deteriorating conditions as the snow and ice moves into the area. If you absolutely must drive, stick to main roads, which will be cleared first.
If you absolutely have to get out, we would request you don't. But if you have to and you're forced to, go on main roads. If you at all can, if you can travel your route on main roads, the arterial roads will be cleaned first. And also what I tell people is please just be careful and travel roads that you're familiar with. It's a whole nother thing. We know that snowscape can cover up the contours of the roads, and we don't want you falling off that road because you're unfamiliar with the territory.
Judge Deacon says travel should be limited during the storm due to hazards that aren't immediately visible. They're asking you to avoid unnecessary trips and wait for conditions, of course, to improve before you head out.